Was the Buddha a god? Many people wonder about this. In a world filled with divine figures and worship, the Buddha's approach was different. He never claimed to be a god, nor a messenger of one. Instead, he said, "I am awake." In the ancient scriptures of the Pali Canon, the Tipitaka, the Buddha is described not as a deity, but as a human being who saw deeply into the truth of suffering and the path beyond it. A being who walked the way of wisdom and taught others how to do the same. In this video, we'll explore what the Buddha really said about himself and why that matters, even today. Let's begin.
Monks, the appearance of a singular person in the world is rare. Monks, the appearance of a unique individual, one without a second, is rare in the world. And who is that unique individual? It is the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Monks, the appearance of this unique individual is indeed rare in the world. Monks, due to the arising of the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, for marvelous and unprecedented things come to be. What are the four? 1. Monks, people delight in sensual pleasures, take pleasure in sensual pleasures, revel in sensual pleasures, but when the Tathagata teaches the Dhamma, that is disconnected from sensual pleasures, those people listen, lend ear, apply their minds to understand it fully. Monks, this is the first marvelous and unprecedented occurrence, arising due to the appearance of the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. 2. Monks, people delight in conceit, take pleasure in conceit, revel in conceit, but when the Tathagata teaches the Dhamma that eliminates conceit, those people listen, lend ear, apply their minds to understand it fully. Monks, this is the second marvelous and unprecedented occurrence, arising due to the appearance of the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. 3. Monks, people delight in restlessness and disturbance, take pleasure in restlessness and disturbance, revel in restlessness and disturbance, but when the Tathagata teaches the Dhamma that leads to calm, those people listen, lend ear, apply their minds to understand it fully. Monks, this is the third marvelous and unprecedented occurrence, arising due to the appearance of the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. For monks, people dwell in ignorance, blind, enveloped by darkness, but when the Tathagata teaches the Dhamma that removes ignorance, those people listen, lend ear, apply their minds to understand it fully. Monks, this is the fourth marvelous and unprecedented occurrence, arising due to the appearance of the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Monks, suppose this great earth were entirely covered with water. A man were to throw down a yoke with a single hole into that water. Then, from the east wind it would drift west, from the west wind it would drift east, from the north wind it would drift south, from the south wind it would drift north, thus it would move along. And in that water there were a blind turtle who, only once every 100 years, would surface to the top. Monks, what do you think? Would it be possible for that blind turtle, surfacing once every 100 years, to insert its neck into the single hole of that yoke? It would be extremely difficult, venerable sir, for that blind turtle, surfacing once every 100 years, to insert its neck into the single hole of that yoke. Monks, in the same way, it is extremely difficult for one to obtain the human state. It is extremely difficult for a Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, to arise in the world. It is extremely difficult for the Dhamma and Vinaya, as declared by the Tathagata, to spread throughout the world. But now, monks, human existence has been obtained. The Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one, has arisen in the world, and the Dhamma and Vinaya declared by the Tathagata has spread throughout the world. Therefore, monks, in this situation, you should exert effort and strive to know. This is suffering. This is the cause of suffering. This is the cessation of suffering. This is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. There is only one Buddha in a world system. Nanda, a bhikkhu who is wise in what is possible and what is not possible knows. This is not possible. This is not a chance that can exist, that in a single world system. To Tathagatas, Arahants, perfectly enlightened Buddhas, would arise simultaneously, neither before nor after each other. That is not a possible occurrence. But what is possible is this. In a single world system, a Tathagata, an Arahant, a perfectly enlightened Buddha, arises. That is a possible occurrence. The arising of a Tathagata is the arising of great light. Because, as long as the moon and the sun have not arisen in the world, there is no great manifestation of light, no great brilliance. During that time, only darkness exists, a darkness that blinds. Night and day do not appear. The month or the fortnight is not manifest. The seasons or the year are not manifest. Because, yet in the time when the moon and the sun arise in the world, then there is a great manifestation of light, a great brilliance. At that time, the darkness that blinds does not exist. Then, night and day are manifest. The month and the fortnight are manifest. The seasons and the year are manifest. Just as this is so. Because, likewise, as long as the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened Buddha, has not arisen in the world, there is no great manifestation of light, no great brilliance. At that time, only darkness exists, a darkness that blinds. There is no declaration, no instruction, no establishment, no designation, no revealing, no analysis, no clear exposition of the Four Noble Truths. Because, yet in the time when the Tathagata, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened Buddha, arises in the world, then there is a great manifestation of light, a great brilliance. At that time, the darkness that blinds does not exist. Then, there is declaration, instruction, establishment, designation, revealing, analysis, and clear exposition of the Four Noble Truths. And what are the Four Noble Truths? The noble truth of suffering, the noble truth of the origin of suffering, the noble truth of the cessation of suffering, and the noble truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Because, therefore, in this matter, you should engage in the practice that brings understanding. This is suffering. This is the cause of suffering. This is the cessation of suffering. This is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Three natural phenomena cause the Tathagata to arise as the lamp of the world. Because, if these three natural phenomena were not to exist in the world, the Tathagata would not need to arise in the world as an Arahant, a perfectly enlightened Buddha, and the Dhamma Vinaya declared by the Tathagata would not shine forth in the world. And what are those three natural phenomena? Birth, aging, and death. Because, if these three natural phenomena did not exist in the world, the Tathagata would not need to arise in the world as an Arahant, a perfectly enlightened Buddha, and the Dhamma Vinaya declared by the Tathagata would not shine forth in the world. Because these three natural phenomena do exist in the world, therefore the Tathagata must arise in the world as an Arahant, a perfectly enlightened Buddha, and the Dhamma Vinaya declared by the Tathagata must shine forth in the world. The presence of the Tathagata's Dhamma in the world is the happiness of the world. Because, as long as the Blessed One and the discipline of the Blessed One remain in the world, they exist for the welfare of many beings, for the happiness of many beings, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, welfare, and happiness of gods and humans. Because, who is the Blessed One? He is the Tathagata, who has arisen in this world, an Arahant, a perfectly enlightened Buddha, accomplished in true knowledge and conduct, the well-gone, knower of the world, the unsurpassed trainer of those to be tamed, the teacher of gods and humans, the awakened one, the Blessed One, who teaches the Dhamma by analyzing it for the benefit of beings. Because, what is the discipline of the Blessed One? It is the Tathagata's teaching, well proclaimed at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end, declaring the holy life with both meaning and wording, completely pure and perfect. The Dhamma taught by the Tathagata, the holy life declared by the Tathagata, that is the discipline of the Blessed One. Because, as long as the Blessed One and the discipline of the Blessed One remain in the world, they exist for the welfare of many beings, for the happiness of many beings, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, welfare, and happiness of gods and humans.
The Tathagata has arisen for the welfare and happiness of the world. Brahma, there are certain ascetics and Brahmins who, though it is night, perceive it as day, and though it is day, perceive it as night. This, we say, is because those ascetics and Brahmins live in delusion. But, Brahma, as for us, the Tathagata knows night as night and day as day. Brahma, if anyone is rightly to be called one who is constantly free from delusion, one who has arisen for the welfare of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, welfare, and happiness of gods and humans, then it is right to call the Tathagata such a one who is constantly free from delusion, arisen for the welfare of the many, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, welfare, and happiness of gods and humans. Those who listen to the Tathagata will gain welfare and happiness for a long time. Bhikkhus, I am one who is wise regarding this world and the other world. Wise regarding the cycle of existence that is the domain of Mara. Wise regarding the cessation of the cycle that is not the domain of Mara. Wise regarding the cycle that is the domain of death. Wise regarding the cessation of the cycle that is not the domain of death. Those who consider this worth listening to and believing in, this will lead to their welfare and happiness for a long time. Having spoken these words, the Blessed One further said, this world and the other world, the Tathagata, who knows them well, has clearly proclaimed them. That which is beyond the reach of Mara, and beyond the reach of death, the Tathagata, who sees and understands them clearly, has proclaimed them, having fully known all the worlds. The gate to the deathless city has been opened by the Tathagata for beings to reach the land of peace. The flood of Mara, the evil one, the Tathagata has blocked, cut off, and rendered powerless. Bhikkhus, dwell with joy and zeal, aspiring to the Dharma that is free from attachments.
6. Bhikkhus, it is because of contact phas as condition that feeling comes to be. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or do not arise. 7. Bhikkhus, it is because of the 6 sense bases Sobhyatana as condition that contact comes to be. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or do not arise. 8. Bhikkhus, it is because of name and form, and mapa, as condition that the 6 sense bases come to be. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or do not arise. 9. Bhikkhus, it is because of consciousness, Vinona as condition that name and form come to be. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or do not arise. 10. Bhikkhus, it is because of volitional formation Sakra as condition that consciousness comes to be. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or do not arise. 11. Bhikkhus, it is because of ignorance of Ijb as condition that volitional formations come to be. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or do not arise. This element of Dhamma remains, namely, this fixed order of nature Dhammaquiti, this lawfulness of phenomena Dhammanijmata, this conditionality, when this exists, that comes to be. The Tathagata fully knows and fully realizes this element of Dhamma. Having fully known and realized it, he declares it, he teaches it, he establishes it, he reveals it, he analyzes it, he makes it plain, he says, Bhikkhus, come and see. Because of ignorance as condition, volitional formations come to be. Bhikkhus, for this reason, that element of Dhamma in this case is Saknas Tathat, is invariability avatathat, is non-deviation ananyathata, is conditionality idapakayata. Bhikkhus, this Dhamma we call Pachikasamapada, dependent origination. The Tathagata declares himself Buddha. The conversation with the Brahmin Donna begins here. Venerable Sir, are you a Deva? Brahmin, I am not a Deva. Venerable Sir, are you a Gandhobha celestial musician? Brahmin, I am not a Gandhobha. Venerable Sir, are you a Yaka spirit being? Brahmin, I am not a Yaka. Venerable Sir, are you a human being? Brahmin, I am not a human being. Venerable Sir, whatever we ask, you say you are not that. Then what indeed are you? Brahmin, the taints salva which would lead me to become a Deva, not having removed them, I would become a Deva. Those taints have been completely cut off by me, uprooted, made like a palm stump, deprived of the conditions for arising again in the future. Brahmin, the taints which would lead me to become a Gandhobha, a Yaka, a human being, not having removed them, I would become such. Those taints I have completely cut off, uprooted, made like a palm stump, deprived of the conditions for arising again in the future. Brahmin, It is like a blue, red, or white lotus, born in the water, growing in the water, but standing above the water, unsoiled by it. Even so, Brahman, though born in the world and grown in the world, I have transcended the world, one dwell untouched by the world. Brahman, remember me as the Buddha, the awakened one.